one more segment before we get to the National Meet of the Week, and that is Dakotah Lindwurm,
Yes.
formerly Dakotah Bolin. She's graduated from St. Francis High School in Minnesota, went to Northern University in South Dakota for college, turned pro, now has made the Olympic team in the marathon, but her high school PRs, wow, do they tell a story? 4K PR 16:27, 5K cross country PR 22:08, 1600 meter track PR 5:51, 3200 meter PR 12:40. Ashley, as sort of the acclaimed distance runner here, what does Dakotah's story tell you about potential?
I think this personally for me, this was one of my favorite storylines coming out from the marathon trials. Seeing someone that was not necessarily even predicted to make this marathon team. She had such a big race. I believe she even PR'd here on this hot day in Orlando, and she makes this team. She gets third. But I think, again, it's more of a testament to the fact that, you don't have to be necessarily the best of the best in high school to then, work hard and transition and, improve your fitness come college, come, pro career as well. And, as you mentioned, you listed off her PRs there. I believe she was also a goalie on her school's hockey team in high school as well. And so she was, enjoying multiple sports. And I also think this is just, I think it just shows she's a fighter. She's someone that, it seems like if she puts her mind to something, she's going to do it. I believe she walked on in college to a D2 school. And so maybe her story gives hope to some of those athletes out there who just love running in general and have big goals that they want to strive for. And I also think as well, it may also prove as a testament to maybe the best marathoners aren't always necessarily the ones that have always been the most talented or the most physically gifted, but the ones that are going to put in that work, but also have that mindset where you can just shift into that mode and just knock off those miles.
Mm-hmm. Olivia?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Ashley said. I have what comes to mind about Dakotah is I feel like it's not about how you start, it's just how you finish. And that's just the beauty of this running community. Anybody has an opportunity to chase after the goals that they have, regardless of what your personal bests are in high school, regardless if you were a walk-on for your D2 college. You can do anything that you put your mind to, and that just attests to how Dakotah is as a person. She's a hard worker. I feel like she has sheer determination to make this team, and the fact that she grabbed that third spot to make that Olympic team is just remarkable. So just keep going. It doesn't matter what your personal bests are. You just never know what a couple years of training and focus can do for you.
Yeah, I would be curious to know if there was sort of an inflection point for her in high school to even feel Northern University, South Dakota, I want to prolong my career after high school, after I had, and to be quite honest, she was a solid runner. For any other high school, you go to a normal high school in USA, she's solid. She's a pretty good runner. She's not elite. She's not a state champion, but she's a good runner. And people probably, at her high school, called her a track star, right? But there is another level. So I would be curious to know, going to Northern University, where was my head at? Where was my driving factor at? There's something inside of her that said, I want to keep chipping away here because you just, I don't think anything in high school kind of prepared her for that. And up until it came to sort of driving home in Northern University, she qualified for a national 10K, I think, at the Division II level. And then she kind of just dove headfirst into her career from that point forward and was signed out of college, Minnesota Distance Project, I think it was, and just kept grinding away and chipping away. I agree with you. Distance running is a long tail sport. It's not a short term, line of thinking. It's not a 5-year career. It's really a lifetime thing. And we look at the best marathoners today, they're in their 30s. Some of them were running in their 40s at the trials. They're running has no age. There's no barrier to that. So just love her story overall and can't wait to see how she does at the Olympic marathon. It's Fiona O'Keefe, which is another great story, Emily Cezanne, and her.